1. The origins, when it all began. Late 19th century. America is changing, and along with it, the way people play. In the 1860s and 1870s, across the campuses of Harvard, Yale, and Princeton, something new is born. A tough physical game, but also an intelligent one. An experiment somewhere between European soccer and British rugby. An idea that, without realizing it, was shaping a legend. On November 25, 1869, in New Brunswick, New Jersey, the first official game in history is played. Rutgers versus Princeton. A historic date. The starting point of a phenomenon that would forever change American sport. And yes, its anniversary falls right around this time. From that spark, an idea was born. A sport capable of combining strategy, strength, and endurance. Because in the end, a football game is not just a physical clash. It is a mental war that can last for hours. But there is one name above all that transformed that game into what we know today: Walter Camp. Today, we remember him as the father of American football. And rightly so. He invented some of the rules that still define the game. The line of scrimmage, the system of downs, and the figure of the quarterback, the team's brain. From that moment on, the path was set. The old European game and the new American sport went their separate ways, and a myth was born. 2. The heroic age. Blood, mud, and reforms. Early 1900s. At the beginning of the 20th century, football is far from the refined sport we know today. It is violent, brutal, deadly. Dozens die every year. Students fall on the field from head blows, broken ribs, collapses. By 1905, the situation is out of control. President Theodore Roosevelt, worried for the safety of young Americans, threatens to ban football forever. But instead of destroying it, he transforms it. A committee for safety and rules is formed, and soon after the NCAA, the organization that still governs college sports today. The game is completely redesigned. Protective gear, helmets, and most importantly, the forward pass are introduced. A revolutionary move. From brutal, the game becomes strategic. From chaotic, it becomes tactical. It is football's first great rebirth. And like America of those years, the sport learns to evolve. More discipline, more speed, more intelligence, but the same eternal desire to fight remains. 3. Expansion. The heart of the colleges, 1920s to 1930s. In the 1920s and 1930s, football explodes across American colleges. Universities become true cathedrals of sport. Notre Dame, Michigan, Army. They are not just teams, they are national symbols. Stadiums grow, stands fill up, and football becomes the center of student life. Coaches like Knute Rockne turn the game into a science. Their locker room speeches become legendary, like the one to George Gipp, "Play one for the Gipper," which still echoes in American culture today. And then there's him, Red Grange, the galloping ghost. A player so fast and spectacular that he fills stadiums wherever he goes. He is football's first superstar. Meanwhile, the first radio broadcasts bring the magic of the game into homes. Families gather around the radio, imagining the clashes on the field. It is here that football stops being just a sport and becomes a secular religion of modern America. 4. Professionalization. The birth of the NFL, 1920s to 1940s. While colleges ignite in passion, something new is born in the shadows. In 1920, in Canton, Ohio, the American Professional Football Association is founded, which 2 years later becomes the National Football League, the NFL. At first, no one takes it seriously. It is considered a working-class league, dirty and clumsy, muddy fields, low wages, endless train trips. But behind those worn uniforms lies the determination of those who want to take football to a new level. After World War II, everything changes. America seeks new heroes, new symbols of strength and unity, and it finds them on the football field. From then on, the NFL begins to grow, slowly but unstoppable. Teams multiply, rivalries arise, and the first television contracts arrive. a dream is taking shape. 5. The television revolution, football and pop culture, 1950s to 1960s. Then television arrives, and everything changes. On December 28, 1958, the championship game between the Baltimore Colts and New York Giants is played. An epic game, ending in overtime. Millions of Americans watch live. It will be remembered as the greatest game ever played. From that day, football conquers TV and TV conquers America. The images of hits, runs, and celebrations become popular culture. In 1970, the merger of the AFL and NFL unites two rival leagues into one massive organization. And from that merger, an immortal icon is born, the Super Bowl. From sport, football becomes spectacle. It combines patriotism, business, and emotion. It is America's new language, the new heartbeat of its soul. 6. The Golden Age, Dynasties and Legends, 1970s to 1990s. It is the Golden Age, the years of dynasties, titans, legendary rivalries. The Pittsburgh Steelers with Terry Bradshaw and the Steel Curtain, symbols of power and working-class pride. The San Francisco 49ers with Joe Montana and Jerry Rice, the perfect balance of elegance and precision. And the Dallas Cowboys, America's team, a symbol of glamour, success, and media power. Every Sunday is a ritual. Stadiums become temples, and the players, demigods. It is the era of Monday Night Football, billion-dollar contracts, and million-dollar commercials. Football becomes a media empire, capable of uniting entire generations in front of a screen. And speaking of teams, tell me in the comments which one you'd like to see featured in a dedicated video. The legend of the Cowboys, the dynasty of the 49ers, or the might of the old Steelers? Because behind every franchise, there is an epic story. Football is no longer just a sport. It is an American myth in its purest form. 7. The new millennium, technology, scandals, and global icons. With the new millennium comes a new generation, the era of global stars, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, players who transcend the sport, becoming brands, symbols, living legends. Technology changes everything. Instant replay, video analysis, smart helmets, GPS, and advanced statistics. Every decision is analyzed, every second is strategy. But alongside perfection comes shadows, scandals, corruption accusations, political protests, and above all, the tragedy of CTE, the brain injuries that will mark the lives of many players forever. Football shows its most human face, fragile, complex, contradictory. It is the story of a dream confronting reality. 8. The present, football as a mirror of America. Today, football is the most watched sport in the country. It is identity, spectacle, patriotism, but also debate, division, and change. Every year, the Super Bowl stops an entire nation. It is not just a game, it is a collective ritual, a perfect reflection of American society. Between billion-dollar commercials, musical shows, and protest gestures, it tells who we are and where we are going. Because football is not just a sport. It is a mirror of America itself, with its greatness, its risks, and its eternal desire to rise again. From the mud of the college fields of 1869 to the billion-dollar lights of the Super Bowl, American football is the story of a people, a story of strength, ambition, and sacrifice. A journey that speaks of who we are, competition, dreams, falls, and rebirth. But now I want to hear your opinion. What is your favorite era of American football? Are you more fascinated by the heroic origins or the modern Super Bowl spectacle? And in your opinion, is football still a sport today or just entertainment? Write it in the comments. I want to read your thoughts. And if you enjoyed this journey through history, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell to not miss the next episodes dedicated to the hidden history of American sport. Because in the end, every legend always begins with a ball, a field, and a dream.